eMburst, and we're here with week 5 versus Mboss. Sorry for a bit of inactivity recently. I've been moving into college. Um, so I had to play a lot of my matches in a very weird order. And consequently, I also didn't get too much time to prep. But I've essentially just been left with, I guess, just enough time to give you this. So I had a pretty decent idea of what I wanted to do this match. I had, or not a pretty decent idea, but I had some idea. So I had Cinderace for the Saltfest, which is kind of just because I knew Cinderace would be taking hits. I probably could have put Focus Sash on it, but oh well. Hitmonchan with Black Belt was just because it only has fighting type attacking moves. It's also got coaching because I have a lot of physical moves. Rotom's got Wide Lens because it's got Hydro Pump. Tangrowth has Cova Berry, so I'm expected to take some Air Slashes from Togekiss. And my main attacker here is actually going to be Aromatisse. I'm running an After You set, which I'm planning to be I thought it was very interesting in prep, because after you, if I have it under Trick Room, I can have a non-Trick Room Mon just move first and shift the momentum dramatically. But I'm deciding not to bring it this time, purely because I think I can take care of what they've got with the first set of 4. So, we'll see. Yeah, we will see. Sorry, it's been 4 days since I played this match. I just haven't had the time to record a commentary, so this is going to be very new to me. So yeah, they lead with the Raikou Hitmontop, which is very interesting. But essentially all I'm going to do here is put on some offensive pressure and get the fake out onto the Hitmontop so they don't fake out me first. Yeah, that's essentially how it's going. Oh yeah, so I go for the Zen Headbutt here because I want to be able to get, like, just the Hitmontop out of the way. I don't want to get the Intimidate stand. I believe I go for, like, the regular Zen Headbutt, not, like, max Zen Headbutt in case of a switch or something. I want to be able to read that out. So, yeah, I play a tiny bit slow, I believe. We'll see. Do I max it here? I might have maxed it. Okay, yeah, so I don't max, I do that. It is the correct play. But they go for the double protect just to stall out the fake out, which it wasn't too important. I just wanted to prevent fake out from the Hitmontop, which is pretty fine by me. And they do see my Zen Headbutt, which is important for understanding what the Cinderace is doing here. So this is the first misplay of the match. I just kind of go for raw offense with the Intimidate onto the Cinderace, where I should have started cycling out. Oh yeah, so what I was wanting to do is I was going to do coaching strats. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my attacking move. But essentially I decided I'm going to... I don't know what I decided I was going to do here. I'm going to be real. I think I do go for the max Zen Headbutt into the Hitmontop, and then the coaching. Yeah. So I was taking my time there. But they do restore the Hitmontop, which is very smart. And we see the Togekiss come out. But also, I kind of forgot that the coaching is going to be slower than the Cinderace, so that was going to come out late. Yeah, it comes off into the Togekiss, and so that's telling me that it's a pretty bulky Togekiss. Even though it's -1, just the fact that it did under half is really concerning. And then we start seeing the Reflect come out. So I feel like Hitmonchan is now in a spot where I need to preserve for the Brick Break. And I'm starting to realize that Brick Break is going to be very important for the rest of the game. Thankfully, I have two mods with Brick Break on this team. I have the Hitmonchan and the Tangrowth. So, I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing here, but it probably made sense. The Raikou switch comes out, which is, first off, very good switch for cycling out the Intimidates. Again, very good defensive play off from the start from him. I had no reason to, Oh yeah, also we see the Berry come out from Togekiss, which is important. And then, of course, Steel Spike does, like, nothing. But essentially, we're starting to see here that, he's playing a very defensive setup at the moment. And I do get to see the eject button here, which I'm understanding to be another way of cycling Intimidates. Pretty cool by him, but it is good information to note. And so, yeah. Usually going between the Bulky Kiss plus the Raikou, setting up screens, him on top setting up the Intimidates, and essentially having his way with my team. Now, I'm way too I'm in too deep at the moment when it comes to what I need to be doing. What I should have done is just switched out the Cinderace and preserve it for later in the match. But instead, I'm preserving my Hitmonchan, which is also another smart play. It's a smarter play, but not ideal. And essentially, what's happening is that I'm kind of just I'm getting baited out. What should have been happening is that I take down the Raikou as soon as possible. So I switch into the Copperage on the Cinderace slot to reset its attack stat. And I start just spamming Brick Break into the Raikou. Or hell, even... Yeah, I would just spam Brick Break into the Raikou. There's no reason not to there. The only thing is that, because I have so many buffs, that I am just way too deep with it. Like, my natural intuition was, hey, keep it in, we got all these defense buffs, but in reality, those aren't gonna matter when half the team that we're playing against is special. And... shit. Anyway, with the Cinderace, I'm not gonna be doing much in terms of value if I don't have my attack. So, I do need to be focusing on cycling out with the Cinderace, which is a very poor set of plays on my end. Also, very nice crit. Didn't really affect how the game played out, but I just think it's nice. Yeah, that Raikou looks like it has a little bit of bulk. Purely because, like, it did half under Reflect. So it had to have been able to live without Reflect for some oh wait, no, never mind. I had the -1 right top of the Reflect, and that's why. At that point, it comes down to Raikou just being a naturally bulky mon. So I'm really realizing, like, okay, Cinderace now needs to start cycling. I get the Hitmontop finally out of the way as well. And I bring in, I believe, the Hitmonchan, yeah. Because, okay, I was thinking here, oh, he's gonna target into the, what's it called? The Copperaja. But no, he targets into the Cinderace slot. This ended up being more of a sack than anything. Which is really sad, because I thought that Protect play was huge, and it would have been a lot better had he targeted differently, but that's just how it happened, I guess. So, okay. Also, another bad play. I switched in Rotom here. Because I was thinking, oh, Araquanid is going to come into the back, right? But I didn't, like, fully conceptualize the fact, like, I needed Rotom to survive until, like, the very end of the game. So that was kind of a poor play. I didn't, like, I understood what I was doing. It was just a matter of, was that the right call? And frankly, no, it was not the right call. Yeah, that wasn't a misunderstanding of what was happening in the game, but rather a misinterpretation of how my actions would affect my endgame. Sorry. I lost my phone. We're gonna go on a phone scavenger hunt, everybody. I'm slowly losing my mind. So yeah, he plays this pretty well. He's trying to essentially get Chip off with the Raikou and preserve this Araquanid for later. Or for the max option, which I did realize at this point, yeah, it's the max option. So I protect into the Rotom, essentially because I realize here, yeah, Rotom is a threat, especially to the Araquanid that's about to max. So I'm expecting, like, Raikou to hit into it, or Araquanid to either hit into it or the Cop. But essentially I'm trying to get rid of the Raikou in time to allow the Araquanid to do its job, you know? There's my phone. Who's hiding behind my blinds? Yeah. I know exactly what's happening. Also, he doesn't go for the Rotom, he goes for the Copperajah, which is solid play on his end. Knowing, just essentially baiting the fact that, yeah, or not baiting anything, but rather understanding that it's a decent chance that Rotom protects there. Also, understanding that what's it called? The Araquanid is faster than the Copperajah is pretty important. Mind you, I have a Cinderace just chilling in the back. And Togekiss is right there. But it probably... Okay. I feel like what's happening here is that he's, or rather, what I later realize and interpret what's happening here is that he's spamming into the Rotom slot, expecting me to, switch the Rotom into the Cinderace. So obviously I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to tank the hits. Also, this is very bad protect. I should have attacked into the Araquanid with the Rotom. But you know, I speed correct. I speed correct the other, what's it called, Togekiss with my Rotom. So that was going to happen. It was just a very bad protect. Also, he had no reason to keep Copperajah, like, or rather, sorry, he had no reason to want to kill Copperajah, rather. So, that was a, yeah, very bad protect. I overall just heavily misplayed that game. I probably should have just started like, firing in whatever moves I could with Cop at that point, because keeping it around was getting no additional value. Mind you, we still have screens up, so Araquanid is just taking no damage. And of course, Rotom goes down now. And Cop is just essentially getting in play roughs. You're gonna see it does very minimal damage. So of course, finally Cinderace comes in what's he gonna do at this point, right? I obviously can't go for the fire move, but I have literally no moves to actually hit this. So I think I decided to go for U-turns. That's the best play. U-turns or iron heads. Or actually no, why did I go for Zen Headbutt? That was a really bad play. I think I was going for more raw damage. I should have gone for U-turn in terms of pure defensive play. Because he could have just gone for, what is it, lunge, leash life. Just taking me out. Because he goes for liquidation here, and that Okos, which is one of the downfalls of not running Sash. And of course, okay, first off, or not first off, but mainly, the fact that I didn't run Sash lost me this first game as well, because he would have to attack into my Cinderace twice to kill it. Meaning that Cinderace had one extra turn where it could have gotten damage off, and then Caparajah, cleans, he has to decide between killing Cinderace and dealing with Caparajah damage to clean up, or killing Caparajah and having to deal with Cinderace, and overall, I win that either way, as long as that thing misses. So, essentially here I'm realizing, okay, Aromatisse has to be my game plan. Because, there's no way that, I don't even know. I realize Aromatisse is the game plan now. And of course I need to keep Rotom in the back. And just keep it there. Until, what's it called? Until really the Raikou's out of the way. And I can just solo max it against the Araquanid and win that 1v1. But yeah, the main goal is to solo out that Araquanid as quick as possible, get rid of the screens as often as I can, and essentially just deny value to the Raikou. So of course, you get the same lead here, it's whatever. So I'm trying to think, okay, what's the best idea? I think I want to go over Trick Room. But obviously that means that Fake Out's coming, so I can't go for Fake Out. So essentially what I'm deciding to do is, I'm trying to figure out which mon is more likely to protect. So I'm deciding that, well, if I can Trick Room on Aromatisse, then that means that if Hitmontop hits into the Aromatisse, then I have to Brick Break into the Hitmontop because that's not a protect. And so if a screen is set, then that means that that Raikou gets denied value for the turn. And so even though we lose Trick Room, we instead deny Raikou that value, we proc eject button, etc, etc. So overall, a safe play. And yeah, it was all about targeting there. So Hydreigon comes out, which is very interesting. So we understand now that there is a game plan that he's got, and the fact that he's got the balls to bring out Hydreigon is massive. So I go for now just the pure rage power Trick Room. There's no reason not to. If he goes for a spread move, he won't kill. And essentially it puts Hydreigon into a very bad position. Where what's he gonna do? Draco? Like he does here? and just get rid of my Tang. That's fine. Like, my Tang is bulky. I don't remember what set I ran for this. Let me check. Tang was 236 plus special defense with 20 HP. So we lived that like a champ. Like and so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna double Hydra. Or that should have been the play, double Hydra. I think I decided to go for Raikou instead, yeah. I go for Raikou instead. No, I do double Hydra. Gotcha. Which is the right call, because if he has a Kova Berry, then, or not Kova Berry, like, a Chople Berry, the, what's it called? Dazzling Gleam goes around that. And if he has the, Rosalie Berry, then the Brick Break goes around that. So, yeah, essentially we're just cycling. And with this lead, I remember realizing Tangrowth's in a bad spot. And at first I'm like, okay, maybe I can after use and Brick Break. But then I realized, okay, yeah, Tangrowth has not enough HP. So instead I'm gonna go for the Dazzling Gleam, try to take out the hit on top. And I'm gonna switch into Copperajah and try to get the Regenerator onto the Tang. Because I want to make sure that Tang sticks around for long enough to get off more Brick Breaks. So I find getting that Regenerator is going to be really important. So yeah, this happens. Tail on top goes down, it's fine. Once you get off Light Screen, yeah. It's very expected that Light Screen comes off here. I'm also putting a lot of pressure onto the Raikou here with the existence of Copperajah. I do think that's very important to understand. That Copperajah just sitting there. No max, no nothing. Makes Raikou very scared, and the fact that Tangrowth is in the back with a Brick Break just waiting, it's also very important. So Rakuni comes out, he wants to preserve the Hydra until out of Trick Room. So of course I'm checking my TR turns. So I'm just like, okay, well I need to preserve my Aromatisse now for the Hydra that's in the back. So like, what the fuck do I do? I can't do anything else after you, because I've got purely TR mons and I need to save Rhythm. So I switch out to Tang. And yeah, briefly consider Dynamax before understanding my end game is not to Dynamax until very late. So, Tang comes out, it's got more HP, Arachne gets for a useless Protect, which is okay, understandable, he Protect. I get it. Also, we do see the high horsepower pick up the kill, pretty sick. Also, there's one more turn of TR, and we get a Brick Break, which means we're in a very solid position. So I can basically, under TR, I can fire off the double up into Hydra with between the Brick Break and the Play Rough. And he can't really do anything to stop it. I decided not to go for Brick Break into Hydra, which is just a mistake. Because in the case that he'd Rosalie Berry, it was probably better just to double up this time. But I wanted to make sure that I just got down the screens before Trick Room ended. So I decided I was going to go into Araquanid in the case of the double protect. Or not double protect, but rather the protecting the Hydra, knowing for a fact that Play Rough exists. So he goes for the Araquanid max now, which is understandable. He's got one more turn of TR and he can just start getting the momentum with Araquanid at the moment, get rain set up, and as long as shit doesn't go too bad for him, he's in a pretty nice position. So, player off comes out. I guess that was a skip in the recording. Oh yeah! What happened is that my thing disconnected. Essentially, Rosalie Berry comes out. I get... what's it called? Breakout. Arachnoid takes the kill onto Cop, whatever. Not like I care anyway. And, Hydra goes for Dark Pulse. And takes the kill onto Tang. So, now we're switching into, well, big boy territory when it comes to my mons. For a very literal sense of big boy. This Rotom is maxing now. Yeah, there's no... I think... I'm not sure what I did. Because I know I would essentially have to Dazzle here. Because I don't want to give Araquanid the Trick Room, especially with Rotom's speed tiers. But I'm not sure if I protect, max guard, or what. I think I go for the protect because I want to save my max turns. Yes, that is correct. I go for the protect because I want to make sure my max turns are preserved. And it's not like he can do much anyway, right? Also, we do see some really cool tech. Belch. Oh my god, I was like not mad at all that that came out. Like, that is actually such a cool move. Also, max Flutterby is really interesting. Because it means that my Thunderbolt are going to be way less damage. So, very smart from him. Honestly, like, targeting was definitely off. But he probably was expecting Belch to kill. I'm going to be honest. So, now we're in the spot where Rotom's got most of its HP. Thunderbolt is coming out. Max Lightning's coming out. And all he has to stop it is one more minus special attack. So, if that tells you anything about what's going on, I hope it does. I hope it tells you a little bit. Because it's essentially giving him the choice of having to target correctly and hoping he takes on the main damage threat of the Rotom. So, yep. Get the max Rotom going. It's essentially just spamming Thunderbolt and Max Lightning. There's nothing else to it. So I'm gonna stop my commentary here because obviously I have like nothing to talk about. It's gonna take a few turns for this kill to come through. But yeah, we'll come back in Game 3. Alright, so now we're into the final game, and now the non-select screen actually really matters here for a couple reasons. First, well, I understand now that keeping Rotom in the back, like last game, is very important. But also, he's probably not going to be going for that exact strat again. So, unless he decides to make some different plays, which, I mean, he played that pretty well, or that last match pretty well, so he's probably going for more of a strategical change. I need to still be prepared for like the last one. So I'm deciding, okay, I need to like change something up, right? So, right, I'm just trying to figure out how I need to adapt for something. And this is also where I make a crucial error of completely ignoring the Haunter. Haunter is the one mon that hasn't come to a game yet. And so, when I'm leaving the Copperajah and the Cinderace, I'm kind of ignoring the fact that my mons I'm bringing to this game just lose that Haunter, and if that Haunter comes, I'm putting myself in a massive disadvantage. Especially if it comes to the lead with a more offensive set. Because I was always thinking about that Haunter, it's like, oh, it's maybe bulky, trying to trick it, maybe? I don't know, but I should have been thinking about it as more of an offensive one. So, you see the Haunter come out. And I'm instantly like, shit. I have no way to hit it. Best I can do is go for a knockoff, get it down to a Sash if it has it, and if not, Oko. And I can fake out into the Raikou. And kinda just see what happens. Right. So, first off, Raikou protects perfectly fine. That's what you'd expect. Fake out, goes into it. Yep. And Haunter goes for the Sludge Bomb. And first off, 22 HP, and then the Poison. So, oh my god. We're in such a shitty spot. Because now Tangrowth is dead to the Poison. Right. So I have no redirection. I have no way of hitting this Haunter. I have to essentially either sack my Aromatisse or take damage on my Rotom. Well, the Rotom is would take damage from the Raikou. So, yeah. I have nothing to say here. I'm in a horrible position, right? Just because of that one poison. But also that comes down to the fact that I also have like nothing with Hitmonchan either. So I'm deciding, okay, I'm gonna take the hit with Aromatisse. I'm gonna just start spamming Break Break with Raikou and, well, hope. And again, this is why the Mon selection screen was so important, because if Hitmonchan was something like, what's it? If Hitmonchan was something like Copperajah, then I would have been in a way better position. Or if, yeah, I would have just been in a way different position had that first turn just gone a little bit better, right? So we do get a crit off on the Raikou, get a bit more trip damage. That's not too important. But, yeah, now we're left in a spot where we have a basically full HP Hitmonchan, right? A Hydra on this field, full HP, outspeeds everything. Raikou outspeeds everything but the Hydra. A low HP Aromatisse that was forced into this situation. And then a Rotom in the back. And it's pretty clear how this turns out. Now, okay, I could have done like the shitty play, or not the shitty play, but the fun play of maxing the Hitmonchan, and I would like to, I would want to do calcs on that. But based off of the bulk of Hitmonchan, that's just not worth it. We'll see. Well, yeah, we will see. Also, we do run out of time. So yeah, we didn't make a play. That's fine. So Raikou Thunderbolts into Aroma. And then, what's it, a Draco? Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do the calc on that, on the Draco into the Chan, because if it didn't do double of whatever HP we had, maxing Hitmonchan would have been the correct play to take out that, Hydra. But now I'm left with the 1v3 Rotom. Of course, because of the bad positioning and because, Hitmonchan essentially did nothing but sit there and allow him to get momentum on the other side. So, again, that just really shows off. Okay, also this play, I essentially had to make the read that he's going to switch into a Araquanid here. So I go for the max lightning into it, expecting like a Thunderbolt, so I decided to max for survivability. Yeah. And essentially I'm playing for differential at this point. So I do the hard read of saying, oh yeah, he's going to switch out his Hydra because he wants to save his special attack stat. And so he can have a max Hydra endgame or some sort of endgame with Hydra. And so of course Raikou now gets a 3 light screen, right? You're expecting that. Or I've expected that rather. Which is also the objectively correct play. Because that means that the Araquanid survives. Because if light screen didn't go up, Araquanid would survive. So I'm now like, okay, what do I do? I decided I want to go for the Darkness into the Raikou. And that's mainly so that if he goes for a max Araquanid play, then he's going to have the special defense drop that will allow me to kill it the next turn. Because I don't believe the electric terrain boost would do enough damage to Oko, or to finish the KO under max. So, that was that. Also, Leech Life is doing far less damage than Raikou, so going for, say, the Darkness into Raikou was the objectively correct play. And now, since the Hydra's out, it's probably going to max. I have no way of hitting it well, so I'm just going for the kill on Araquanid. Just to, well, yeah. I'm essentially just forcing, or I'm forced into the position where I kind of have to pick up this kill on Araquanid now. Because, yeah, I cannot win this endgame. It's very unfortunate that RNG played a factor, but there's also a very big point, or a much larger point to be made about my Mon selection going into this. So overall, yeah, Mboss played this very well, very fun set. I have nothing much else to say. He capitalized on the different points and didn't let me get away with anything suboptimal. So, really big props to him. By the way, that crit did not matter. I just realized that because I already had the special defense drop. But yeah, that's GG's Mboss. We'll get back next time. And yeah, see you next week against Krabby Shack.